This stadium built to hold the noise. It's 40 degrees, the wind really not a factor. And no precipitation thus far today. You see some blue in the sky above Quest Field. Pete Carroll took the Seahawks in his first season as the head coach into the playoffs. Always loose, and you see him cutting up on the sideline before they kick it off, despite that 7-9 record in the playoffs, facing the defending Super Bowl champions and Sean Payton, their coach, who is 4-1 in postseason play. And that is a franchise record. Olindo Mare, the veteran, kicking off to Devery Henderson. And the kick will go out of bounds. So the flag flies as Mare kicks it out of bounds to open the game. Not a good start for the Seahawks, while Coleman is our referee today. Let's take a look at the starting offense for the Saints.
Drew Brees, Purdue Boilermaker.
Reggie Bush, USC.
Keith Evans, Auburn.
Marcus Colston, Hofstra University.
Devery Henderson, LSU.
Jeremy Shockey, University of Miami.
Jamon Bushrod, Towson University.
Carl Nix, North Salinas High.
Jonathan Gooden, Lower Richland High, Diamonds.
Jari Evans, Frankfurt Pioneers.
John Stinchcombe, University of Georgia.
So from the 40, Brees goes to the air on first down, and just short of the 45-yard line to Shockey is tight end. Shockey bothered by an injury, a groin injury, but ready to go today. As you see, Brees led the NFL, hitting 68% of his passes, and here is the second down play coming up after the relatively short field with a kickoff out of bounds.
And 2 plays, 2 different personnel groupings. The chess match has begun.
Brees fakes the handoff and then swings it to Bush. Reggie Bush will have a first down as he crosses midfield. Tackled there by Jennings. A gain of 6 and a first down for the Saints.
And Tom, to me, this is a substitution for their run game. Play action, now just check it down to Reggie. That's like a handoff. Put your head down, pick up the first down.
Jenkins and Babineau get him, but not until he had picked up the first, and the ball in Seahawk territory at the 49-yard line. Opening drive of the game. Here's the first run. It's Bush and Reggie. Short of the 45, stopped by Mebane as we look at the starting defense for the Seahawks.
Chris Clemens, Georgia.
Brandon Mebane, California.
Colin Cole, Iowa.
Chantuan Balmer, Weldon, North Carolina. Aaron Curry, E.E. Smith High School.
Wilford Tupu, Tri-Town, Mass. David Hawthorne, TCU.
Marcus Trufant, Washington State.
Lawyer Malloy, UW.
Earl Thomas, Orange, Texas.
Kelly Jennings, U.
Second down for the Saints. Brees in the pocket and delivers to a wide open receiver, caught, and down to the 15-yard line is Marcus Colston. He was the top receiver for the Saints in the regular season with 84 catches. Tackled by Lawyer Malloy, but a big gain of 31 yards.
And really good touch and accuracy. Watch 29 right in the middle of your spot. That's Earl Thomas. He drops it over Thomas. Broken tackle in the secondary, and this is what the Saints do. You gave them field position to start the game. They script the first 15 plays. They're poking and prodding, and they score more touchdowns on the first possession than any team in football.
Brees, first down pass to the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Colston.
You know, in that first game, they worked on Earl Thomas a little bit, and that time they inverted the safeties, meaning Thomas had to come down into the box. Good underneath coverage, forced the ball to be elevated.
They did play in the regular season in New Orleans with the Saints winning 34-19. Hasselbeck passed for 366 yards, but they settled for field goals while the Saints were scoring touchdowns, and the Saints won it. Second down pass from Brees. It's a screen, and it's complete to Julius Jones. And the man released earlier this season by the Seahawks takes it down close to the 5-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds by Marcus Trufant.
And when we talked to Sean Payton yesterday, he talked about the use of the screen game, being aggressive in the red zone, not taking too many chances, drop it down, give it to Julius Jones. And again, Tom, that's just like what we talked about a minute ago. almost like a handoff. Let those two running backs do what they do best, which is have the ball in space.
55 points on the opening drive of the game, the best in the NFL. Breeze looks one way, looks the other. Tucks it under, still looking, and got the pass to Bush, who couldn't hold on, juggling the ball as he goes out of bounds and incomplete.
You know, one of the keys to this game, as it always is with the New Orleans Saints, is pass protection. The left tackle, Jermon Bushrod, right here, will push the defensive end Clemens past the quarterback. When Drew Brees can step up into the pocket like that, that's when he's at his best. Reggie Bush drops what probably was a sure touchdown if he breaks the tackle.
So on fourth down, Garrett Hartley will attempt a 26-yard field goal. He hit 15 of 25 during the regular season, and this one good. So the kickoff out of bounds gives the Saints a short field. They take a field goal and the early lead, 3-0 Saints. Pike Place Market in Seattle. It wouldn't be a game in Seattle without the ceremonial throwing out of the first fish. It's 3-0 Seattle, or 3-0 New Orleans, as Seattle gets set to receive the kick. Morstead will kick off to Leon Washington with 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns during the regular season.
Mortar kick up high.
And alert catch made. And the Seahawks will have good field position to start as Forsett made the catch.
That was an alert play, calling the fair catch on the mortar kick. They want to keep the football away from Leon Washington. Really good job by Justin Forsett.
One of the things that Sean Payton said to us, you don't want to fly home letting Leon Washington have some big returns against you, and so they pop it up and the fair catch made. And now from scrimmage, the Seahawks first play. Hasselbeck fires short gain to the 40-yard line to Mike Williams. Mike Williams was the leading receiver for the Seahawks during the regular season with 65 receptions, out of football for a couple of years, and a big return with career highs this season after being out of the game for 2 years.
I expect a very, very aggressive offensive effort from these guys. Second different personnel grouping, second pass. 2nd and
7, and the pass complete. And the pass is to Obomanu. Takes it for a first down before he's tackled by Jabari Greer. Well, just short of the first down, actually, across the 45-yard line.
Tracy Porter's got to make this tackle in the open field. He misses it. That's pitch and catch. Matt Hasselbeck will beat you up all day long if you don't make that tackle.
So here's a 3rd down and a little more than a yard to go for the Seahawks. Hasselbeck's rolling to his right, passes through the hands and intercepted. Intercepted. It was Jabari Greer that took the ball after it went through the hands of Obomanu. And the first turnover, Mike, you said turnovers would be critical, and here's one on the first possession.
Yeah, they need to be clean, and what happens is they're trying to get out in front here with with Ben Obomanu. Great job by the Saints, a real good hit on the football. Right there, that was Jonathan Vilma made the play. Greer might have made the interception, but Jonathan Vilma did not allow himself to get outflanked by the motion. He made the play, and all of a sudden, look at the Saints, 35-yard line with a 3-0 lead.
And you see the turnover margin, the Saints not so good, 2nd worst in the NFL among playoff teams. The worst was Seattle. Breeze, as the rush came in, able to get it away and complete the pass to Meacham. Out of bounds short of the first down.
That was on the cusp between a great get-off by Chris Clemens and offsides, and I think they're going to get him for offsides.
There's Clemens.
Offside, 91, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Clemens, who had 11 sacks during the regular season.
Yeah, you got to block these defensive ends. There's Clemens anticipating the snap count, running around Bushrod, clearly called for the offsides.
So 1st and 5 from the Seahawk 30 after the interception. This will be Jones. Julius Jones draws a crowd of blue shirts and driven down after a short gain on the play.
Now, Tom, the first time these two teams played, I really thought Chris Ivory made a difference in the football game. 99 yards, mostly after first contact. Now, they've run twice out of their power set so far today and have gotten nothing. So I think you're going to see more and more Julius Jones and Reggie Bush more in the pass game, checkdowns, finesse, not the power game they're used to.
Chris Ivory, the leading rusher for the Saints, out with an injured foot. Bush driven down by Clemens and others, but he got forward progress to pick up the first down. As you said, Sean Payton scripts the first 15 plays. He says not only does it give them a chance to probe and see how the defense reacts, but he says he thinks it gives his players some confidence and some calmness about the plays they're going to run. Not only do they have a chance to discuss them in advance, but they walk through them in the ballroom of the hotel the night before.
And he also said it gave the play caller some calmness.
That's it.
Yep.
Here's Julius Jones. Up the middle as the Saints try to add to their lead. They had an interception here on the first possession by the Seahawks and trying to put up more points. So Pete Carroll, he said to us, the turnovers will be decisive in the game, and one on their first possession through the hands of Obabanu and then intercepted.
Yeah, you don't want to make it easy for the Saints. You kick off the ball out of bounds, give them the ball on the 40, then the interception gives it to them on the plus 35.
Breeze fumbles the snap, picked up by Jones, and Jones steps off with it around the left side and makes some positive yardage out of the fumbled snap, tackled by Kelly Jennings.
Rarely do you see a veteran quarterback and a veteran center when they're under center like this. It just looked like Drew dropped the football, and any good quarterback will tell you he's pulling that. Ball hit him up there by the right wrist, didn't it? He pulled out and the ball caught him on the wrist.
Jonathan Goodwin is his center. Sets up a third down. And the best in the NFL at converting the third downs at a 48% clip. Here's a third. Throw it underneath to Bush, and Reggie Bush sprinting, tackled from behind, saving the touchdown by Earl Thomas. But a gain of 10 and another first down for the Saints.
Boy, a lot of check downs and screens. Here's Reggie Bush right here. Watch what happens. They're going to force people down. Reggie with a little peekaboo screen, and here comes the safety, Earl Thomas, making the tackle from the inside out, but not before they get the first down with Bush underneath.
So first down now from the 12-yard line, and a handoff to Jones. Ran into his own man, but then chugs his way inside the 5-yard line before he's stacked up with Lofa Tatupu leading the defensive charge. Still a gain of 8 for Julius Jones, who comes in. He and Bush want to show that the fact that Thomas and Ivory, their top two rushers, are out, they can still have a good running game.
Watch Craig Terrell. He's got a chance to make the play right there, but a great job with the interior of that offensive line. Nix, Goodwin, Evans. That's pretty good pushing the pile there by Julius Jones.
So Jones with a power run, what they were expecting they wouldn't have with the absence of Ivory and Thomas. Here's Breeze. Rolling to his right, passing incomplete. Intended for Lance Moore, number 16. And it's going to bring up a third down now. The Saints can make a first down without a touchdown. Third down and 3.
Nice job by Marcus Trufant there. Drew Brees trying to buy time, get the ball out. And Tom, remember, the ball's on the 5-yard line, but they can still get a first down. They don't have to have a touchdown.
From the shotgun.
Double stack right here. Watch out for a little pick.
Breeze looks left and goes right. Flag down as Moore hit the turf. And it looks like an interference call against the Seahawks upcoming. Walter Thurman was defending.
Pass interference, number 28. Defense, foul occurred in the end zone. Ball placed at the 1-yard line, first down.
Yeah, Lance Moore came off that little rub like we talked about right here, and then he's going to set up like a basketball player and just put him right on your hip. Thurman tries to go throw him. Thurman's got to be more aware situationally that you can't sit on the back of him like that. That's a no-win situation. They're either going to complete it or you're going to have to interfere to get to the football.
Easy call, pass interference in the end zone. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Breeze is going to pass forward and gets it to his fullback, Heath Evans, for the touchdown.
Jabari Greer with the interception, which sets it up. It's just going to be a little play action. Then the fullback sneaks out in the flat. Good job covering the tight end, but the linebacker right there, Aaron Curry, late on the fullback, Heath Evans.
Evans caught 1 touchdown pass during the regular season, so Hasselbeck and the Saints feeling the pressure now as New Orleans takes the turnover and scores the touchdown. And Huntley with the extra point, and it is good. So the turnover cost Seattle dearly, and the Saints add to their lead. They go 8 plays for the touchdown, helped by a pass interference penalty, 10-0. One thing championship teams do is get you down early. And in the first quarter of this season, the Saints in the regular season outscored their opponents by 79 points, second best. So Leon Washington awaiting the kickoff by Morstead. First one they popped up short of Washington, remember, as Washington returning 3 kickoffs for touchdowns this season. Again, they stay away from him. Taken by Robinson, and Michael Robinson. Nice return, just short of the 45-yard line. Junior Gillette makes the tackle on special teams for New Orleans, but Hasselbeck, they turned it over on their first possession, and the Saints scored a touchdown to lead by 10. Welcome back to Seattle, where Shockey and Bush talk about a 10-0 Saints lead here early, and Leon Washington, the returner for the Seahawks, has had an impact even though he hasn't touched the ball yet. Staying away from him, they've given the Seahawks good field position, this time from the 43 with a first down.
You might as well kick it out of bounds if you're going to do that. You get the ball to 43.
First run is to Lynch, and he has a nice run. The Seahawks, one of the worst rushing attacks in the NFL. Here's how they start offensively.
Matt Hasselbeck, Boston College.
Marshawn Lynch, Oakland Ice City, California.
Michael Robinson, Penn State.
Mike Williams, USC.
Ben Obomanu, Auburn.
John Carlson, Notre Dame.
Russell Okung, Oklahoma State.
Tyler Columbus, Colorado.
Chris Spencer, Ole Miss.
Mike Gibson, Cal.
Sean Locklear, NC State.
Second down pass, and it's complete. Mike Williams has it for a Seahawk first down. Patrick Robinson got him as he went out of bounds after a gain of 10.
Now this is something that Matt Hasselbeck talked about. One-on-one situations, throwing back shoulder to Michael Williams. He's not a speed guy. He's not going to get separation because of quickness or being abrupt. But with that big body, you can either throw it high or back shoulder, and he'll make the catch.
41 of the Saints, first down pass to Obomanu. Spinning away from the first tackle and diving forward. Lost the ball, but it went out of bounds, and Obomanu holding his right wrist as he hits the turf hard. But Hasselbeck on target for 2 in a row, and Obomanu is still down.
They've got a soft corner, and they took advantage of that. Look at the separation right here. Play action the other way. Obomanu acting like he's got nothing to do. Broke the tackle again. Jabari Greer missed the tackle. Great hustle by Obomanu.
And while they look at Obomanu still down on the field, we'll take a break. Ben Obomanu shaken up on that pass reception, jogging to the locker room. And replaced by Brandon Stokely. First down from the Saints 31. Lynch breaking free for the moment and takes it down close to the 20-yard line. That is a run of 10 yards on first down before he's tackled by Darren Sharper. Sharper getting the start today at free safety for Malcolm Jenkins, who's injured.
Michael Robinson, the former quarterback at Penn State. Russell Okung, the first-round pick. Power downhill football. That's 2 carries in this drive where they picked up 7+ yards in the power game. Okung, 2 bad ankles, pushing Will Smith out of the way, and if they can run downhill, it's going to make their task a lot easier.
Averaging only 89 yards a game rushing. Here's the swing to Stokely. He'll be marked out of bounds. Jabari Greer over there defending against Brandon Stokely, the veteran in his 12th season from Southwest Louisiana. Caught 31 passes in the regular season. That one went for 5 yards. There you see his numbers for his career, 4,600 yards receiving.
And Tom, it's kind of interesting. They're using that short pass game as an extension of their run game. And right now, from a personnel grouping, they've got Leon Washington, and they've got Forsett and come underneath to Stokely.
Flag is down as Stokely makes the catch. Looks like it's going to be a hold, a defensive hold against the Saints.
Holding, number 41, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Roman Harper with the hold, automatic first down.
And there it is right there, Harper, clearly. Harper better in the run game, better in the box. Clearly a hold, good call right there. Got an automatic first down.
There's a look at Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator of the Saints, rumored to be in line for perhaps a head coaching job. First down, Seahawks at the Saint 11. Play action fake. Here's Hasselbeck, wide open, touchdown to Carlson.
Boy, what a great answer. Look at the bunch over here. 2 tight ends in the bunch. Play action and the tight end just sneaks out. Roman Harper doesn't see it. Easy throw by Hasselbeck. And Tom, we got a ball game.
That was a big-time answer by the Seahawks as they went down 10-0. Come right back for the touchdown. Here's Maury for the point after. And it is good. Seahawks go 6 plays, 57 yards. Hasselbeck hit all 4 of his pass attempts. Carlson with the touchdown. Seattle Seahawks came into today's game with the worst record by a division winner at 7-9. And 11-point or so underdogs today to the defending Super Bowl champions, and yet falling down 10-0 after a kickoff out of bounds and then an interception. They're able to drive down the field behind Matt Hasselbeck, get the touchdown, and make it a ball game at 10-7 here in the first quarter. Henderson awaits the kick by Olindo Mare. Henderson a yard deep. He's going to bring it out. Whoa. Stop short of the 20-yard line. Good special teams coverage by the Seahawks, who are fired up. Hasselbeck hit 4 for 4 on the touchdown drive. Let's check in with Alex Flanagan, who's on the sideline today.
Hey, Tom, and Hasselbeck's mobility does not look limited at all, despite playing with the soft tissue injury that he has been battling in his hip and his glute area. Has had a lot of swelling there, so much so that he had to have a large needle inserted into the area. Earlier this morning, they drained out a lot of the fluid. Ironically, the injury has been caused by his broken left wrist, unable to break his falls when he hits the ground, so he has to hit it with his hip and his glute area. That's led to the swelling and more bruising, Tom.
Making his 10th playoff start, and as you see, 9 now with a touchdown pass. Dangerous pass. There's a flag down. Colston makes the catch, despite the fact the pass was behind him, and then hit by Tatupu. Lofa Tatupu, who played for Pete Carroll at USC, as did, of course, Reggie Bush of the Saints. Here's Walt Coleman's
Prior to
call.
the pass, illegal contact, number 57, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
David Hawthorne called for the illegal contact.
He was really hoping to get the football down the field to Robert Meacham, their vertical threat. I've had several defensive coordinators tell me that basically Drew Brees is touchdown or check down. He wants to get the ball vertical, but if not, he knows where every check down on the field is.
Play action fake, roll to the right. Colston with the catch and ducks out of bounds about the 33-yard line. Earl Thomas, the rookie safety from the Seahawks, super talented and They talk so much in positive terms about him, but victimized in the first meeting by Drew Brees and the Saints.
Yeah, they had a bust there, Tom. What happened was Earl Thomas should have been in the flat. He went deep along with the corner, so they had two people deep and nobody in the flat. That's all on the safety, Earl Thomas.
First down run by Reggie Bush. Cuts back to the 37. Knocked down by Craig Terrell after a gain of 4.
Aaron Curry, the outside linebacker, good force on the edge.
Fans start to get into it again. This stadium can be so loud, built to hold the noise, actually, and it's a big advantage. Second down and 6. Catch in traffic by Colson. Boy, showed some strong hands there. He was blanketed by Seahawk defenders. Curry was right in his grill, yet he caught it for 12 yards.
This is just a spacing route. He's going to sit in between the corner and the linebacker right there. It's got to come on time, and with Drew Brees, it always does.
Saints continue to drive. They're at their own 49. Another first down. They lead at 10-7. Jones nearly broke it. Inside the 40-yard line of the Seahawks, a gain of 15 yards. Malloy and Jennings have to combine to save a touchdown run by Julius Jones.
Left tackle Bushrod on Clemens. Watch the contact immediately. Gets him on his back. Get outside the edge. Chris Clemens thought he was held. I don't believe he was. Good. Maybe he was at the end there, Tom. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Grabbed him at the end. Could have been a hold.
Instead, it's a first down at the 36. Brees fakes the handoff. Lines up and finds a man right in the center of the defense, Meacham. And he'll have it for 11 yards and a first down. Lawyer Malloy, the veteran, 37 years old, making the tackle.
Double stack. You're going to see the inside receiver clear it. Meacham finds the open area, catches the football, gets up the field. That's just good spacing against the zone defense and a veteran quarterback that recognizes when and where to throw the football.
Methodical drive by the Saints. They've advanced to the 25 of Seattle. Free play. Looks like Seattle was offside, and they'll stop it.
False start, number 64.
It was a false start. That's the reason the Seahawks came charging over.
Might have been Zach Streif, number 64. They go with their 3-tackle alignment. I thought I saw Zach Streif right here, the 3rd tackle in the game. There he goes. Yeah. Little hesitation right there. That's enough. Good call. And now it's a 1st and 15 situation.
That little flinch cost him 5. So 1st and 15 from the 30. Drew Brees has hit all 3 of his pass attempts on this drive for 11, 12, and 11 yards. Blitz comes, picked up. Brees overshoots his man Shockey, who is free in the center of the defense as the Seahawks come with a blitz. Julius Jones picked it up.
Good call there, Thomas. Julius Jones came all the way across and picked it up.
And that'll end the first quarter. So the end of the first quarter with the New Orleans Saints leading the Seattle Seahawks 10-7. NBC's NFL Wildcard Playoff continues after these messages. Second quarter starts with the Saints facing a 2nd and 15 from the Seahawks 30-yard line.
Some confusion in the secondary.
The play action fake and the pass complete to the 10-yard line to Shockey. Was that the same play they ran a minute ago and that Brees overshot Shockey?
Same philosophy. What they did that time was they had 2 tight ends in the game, different personnel groupings. And watch what happens. He's going to come right down the seam, get inside Curry to Tupu, doesn't know where the football is, and makes the catch on a 2nd and 15 for a first down.
In fact, it covers 19 yards. The ball just shy of the 10 as they hand it off to Bush. Reggie will be driven out of bounds by Marcus Trufant.
You know, kind of interesting when we talked to Sean Payton yesterday, Tom, and they talked about he went to both Jeremy Shockey and Reggie Bush, and he said to Reggie, I need you to be a true tailback. And he said to Shockey, because of the injuries with Jimmy Graham, I need you to be a true tailback, excuse me, a true tight end. And right now what you're seeing is him in line both as a blocker and a receiver.
Talking about Shockey saying one is him be as good as he ever was before as they make the tackle of Jones at about the 5-yard line. That was a Toby Keith song that Sean Payton called into play, telling Shockey how good he wanted him to be in this game today. 9 consecutive seasons with at least 40. This season he had 41.
It's a key 3rd down situation here. Ball's on the 5-yard line.
And because it is a key situation, timeout Saints. Tenth play of the drive coming up as the Saints have a 3rd and 4 from the Seahawks 5-yard line.
Awfully loud in here. Big play in the game. Reggie Bush is in the slot. There's Bush up here and Shockey in line.
Breeze then hands it off on the draw play to Jones for the touchdown, and he becomes the first NFL player that has ever scored a touchdown against a team that released him that he played for earlier this season.
What a great call. They spread them by alignment. Reggie Bush is out here, and then they come back inside. Bushrod with an easy block. Shockey with the block on the 2nd level. Touchdown. I really like the play call by Sean Payton.
They go over 80 yards, 83 yards on 10 plays, and Jones scores a touchdown against the team that released him earlier this season, as Hartley adds the extra point. New Orleans Saints come right back after the Seahawks score with a long drive, 83 yards, the clincher by Jones. Up next, Wild Card Saturday continues on NBC. Mark Sanchez and the Jets to Indianapolis to take on Peyton Manning and the Colts. A rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. Bob Costas hosts the Pepsi Max Bridge Show live from Indianapolis, which comes up next here on NBC. Morstead to kick off. A little squib. This time Washington will get his hands on it. Leon Washington. A couple of nice cuts to the 30-yard line where the Seahawks will put it in play. Ramon Humber on special teams made the hit for the Saints. Look at Julius Jones, the first player released by a team and then come back in the playoffs and score a touchdown against them. The former Notre Dame player who was drafted by Dallas when Sean Payton was there. One of the reasons he signed up with the Saints after being released earlier this year by the Seahawks. Drew Brees looking at the charts. Ben Obamanu, shaken up earlier for the Seahawks, is back on the field. Hasselbeck's pass on target and caught by Obamanu.
Wow, that timing was so good, and that's only a veteran quarterback, 12 years. This ball is out of his hands. Roman Harper undercuts it. Look where the ball is. Just inbounds.
Nice catch.
Forces the extension by Obamanu with the good catch, as you said, Tom. Wow, was that fun.
From Selma, Alabama, played his college football at Auburn. That one went for first down. He's had 3 receptions for 28 yards so far. Handoff. Forsett dancing his way. And a little scuffle breaks out. The whistle's still sounding. No flags down.
You know, they spread the field right there like we talked about in pregame, trying to give Hasselbeck the ability at the line of scrimmage. Double stack, deep, deep. Now it's easy to count the box. 5-on-5, advantage run game, good down block. Villman now does a nice job, but they still pick up 6 yards on first down by spreading the field and let the quarterback make the pass run call.
From the shotgun on second down, Hasselbeck looks right, then goes left. And the flag flies as Stokely was knocked to the turf. Patrick Robinson defending for the Saints.
Now, Patrick Robinson is a gifted kid. He's a rookie, a first-round pick from Florida State. But he's also
interference, number 41. Defense ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
They called Harper for the pass interference.
I thought it was Robinson on him. Regardless, the key is that Stokely is healthy again. There it is right there. Clearly, it's Robinson that was misidentified there.
Lynch. 3 yards on a first down run by Lynch, with Alex Brown getting credit for the stop.
You know, Tom, we spoke with Hasselbeck yesterday and talked about the security blanket he feels when Brandon Stokely's in the game, and clearly talked about when they picked him up back in September. The guy's 34 years old. He's been in the league 12 years like Hasselbeck, and he's one of those man-beater type guys. You can trust him underneath.
And why not? He's had nearly 340 receptions in his career. Timeout. Hasselbeck didn't like something he saw with the defense, and with the play clock ticking down, spends the Seahawks' first timeout. 17-7, New Orleans. Welcome back to Seattle. 11:38 to go, second quarter. Saints leading the Seahawks 17-7 in this wild card playoff. Pete Carroll and the Seahawks trying to answer the touchdown scored by New Orleans. They have a 2nd and 7 at the Saints' 46-yard line.
I expect to see more of this. Get up in the face. Don't allow the short passing game.
Hasselbeck pumps once and lays it up into the arms of Mora, his tight end. Out of bounds, no touchdown. He is being ruled out of bounds, but Cameron Mora, in his second year from Cal, who caught only 9 passes in the regular season, takes that one for 39 yards as Hasselbeck just threw it up and let him run under it.
That is an unbelievable throw and touch, and call it anticipation by the quarterback. I just absolutely love what the quarterback did there. Watch the pressure. It's a double move right there. He's wide open, but the beauty there is the ability to anticipate where he'd be while he's getting hit. Wow.
Spot the ball at the 7. Hasselbeck wide open for the touchdown. Carlson, the second time today that Hasselbeck has hit Carlson for a touchdown. John Carlson, the former Golden Domer from Notre Dame, who caught only 1 touchdown pass in the regular season, has 2 in the first half here in the playoffs.
Again, let's give this 7 and 9 team credit. Down 10 points for the second time in the first half, rallying, coming back, and scoring a touchdown.
Extra point, Murray, it's good. So Seattle not intimidated by the world champions. They come right back. Carlson, his 2nd touchdown catch. Matt Hasselbeck 3 for 3 through the air on that last drive by the Seahawks. In fact, he's hit 7 in a row since the interception. Seahawks win 5 plays, 70 yards to make it a 3-point game. Murray will kick it off. Henderson takes it in at the 7. Cuts back, tackled at the 19-yard line. And let's go back to the key play in that touchdown drive by the Seahawks.
I hope people can appreciate how great an effort by the quarterback. Watch Will Smith come off the edge. Remember, fake. This is a double move. He gets smacked in the face. The timing and anticipation to hit Cameron Mora like that is unbelievable. Now, the touchdown play, what a great acting job by the Golden Domer.
Mora, who made that big reception over on the sideline as the Saints now take over. They'll put it in play from the 19. Play action fake. Here's Breeze winding up. Nobody there. Goes the other way. Nearly intercepted. Intended for Jones, but broken up by Hawthorne, who nearly picked it off.
If Hawthorne trusted what he saw, he'd have had a pick six right there. That was an opportunity to make a play, but let's go back to the touchdown play. You want to talk about an acting job by the Golden Domer, John Carlson. Two key plays, both by tight ends. Here's Carlson. Watch him fall down. Roman Harper gives up on it. Carlson stands up. That's like the backyard, Tom. You're hanging out. You play a little cat and mouse.
Here's a false start against the Saints.
False start, number 77. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still second half.
Couldn't hear from Walt Coleman, who had the premature movement, but credit that one to the 12th man, as
that's right.
The crowd noise here makes it problematical. In fact, 22.17 false start penalties here at Quest Field, the highest average for a home stadium, the loudest stadium in the league.
They got it going right now. These fans are going crazy. Hawthorne almost made a play on defense.
Draw play, handoff to Jones, and Julius slammed down to the turf by Curry and others.
Yeah, man, there was a big hit right in the middle of that pile-up. The rookie safety, number 29. Watch right here. Comes up. Watch the hit in the hole. He came from 11 yards deep to make the hit at the line of scrimmage. That's Earl Thomas. He's got the best range of any rookie free safety I've seen since Ed Reed came into the league.
3rd down and 12. Breeze steps up, delivers, incomplete, intended for Colston.
Oh man, are they fired up now? Tutupu and Thomas had bracket coverage on Colston, no place to go, and now they're going to be forced to kick the football. And another opportunity for the Hawks.
So Thomas Morstead, who averaged 45.9 on 57 punts this season, is on for the first punt of the day by either team. First 3 and out of the game. Washington, the dangerous returner, is deep.
Yeah, this is a dangerous situation right now. They're going after it.
Try to block it. And a collision, but no flag. As the ball goes out of bounds inside the 40-yard line of the Seahawks. Morstead.
He was blocked into him.
He's still selling it. Morstead as he limps off to the sideline.
Trust me, he's fine.
Blocked into the punter.
Whoa.
I think the ruling was he was blocked into the punter.
The legs up in the air. That's about as much contact as you usually get. That's Kennard Cox, backup corner. He was blocked into him, which is why the flag did not come out.
That was a dangerous situation for Morstead, though. Completely vulnerable there.
No question.
Punt covered 45 yards, and the Seahawks have it back with a run for Forsett. He's to the 45. Are you surprised that the Seahawks have had some pretty good games on the running plays, as I said earlier, averaging only 89 yards rushing a game?
Tom, last week they had 35 carries for 141 yards. So that's one of the key components to their win against St. Louis to get into the playoffs. And I was talking to Jed Fish, the quarterback coach, on the field before the game, and he said, Mike, if we can go any kind of downhill run game, we can be dangerous today. Now look who's in the backfield. Now you've got Forsett. This is more of a finesse game.
Hasselbeck swings it intended for Forsett, but he was covered too. And he just spins it out of bounds. First time that Hasselbeck has had an incompletion. In his last, he had hit 7 in a row before that.
Now this is Will Smith who's going to peel with him. Watch this coverage. Now you don't always want a defensive end on a tailback. That's one where you'd like to see, you know, there was no chance for Hasselbeck to do anything differently but throw it away. But that's an opportunity sometimes to take advantage of a mismatch.
Duly noted, no doubt, upstairs by the Seahawks coaches. Hasselbeck standing in the pocket, has to throw it away again. Good coverage by the Saints. Everyone blanketed. Hasselbeck throws it away, and now the first punt of the game by Seattle.
I mentioned earlier that Mike Williams is not one of those guys that creates separation with speed or quickness. Really good coverage by Jabari Greer. Remember, it's a third and only about 5. Greer's just sitting right underneath that hip. Michael Williams is looking for a jump ball. That's a win for the defense that time.
John Ryan averaging nearly 42 yards a punt this season. Sends it toward Moore. Makes the fair catch at about the 19-yard line. Punt covered 38 yards. There was no return. And so with 9:01 left, still a 3-point game. From the Emerald City, Pete Carroll and the Seahawks battling the defending Super Bowl champion Saints. It's a 3-point lead for New Orleans. They take over after the Seahawk punt at the 19. And Julius Jones, fumble.
Ball's on the ground.
And they'll try to untangle them, unstack them as Julius Jones fumbled the football. Saints, or Seahawks, saying they have it, but no official ruling as the scrum continues down there at the bottom of the stack. It is Seattle's ball. So the turnover's now 1 apiece.
Now the interesting thing here, the ball's out right there. No question with any body part down. The ball's out cleanly. It's a fumble. And Tom, we talked about turnovers at the top of the show, and now it's equal. 1 interception, the ball's out.
Looks like it was Raheem Brock.
Hawthorne was lying on top of it. Turl came in. Brock was in there. It doesn't matter because there's a blue shirt on top.
There's Hawthorne and he and Brock. So the fumble, the turnover gives the ball to the Seahawks at the 16-yard line and run by Marshawn Lynch. Determined run by Lynch, who is finally thrown out of bounds, but he kept churning away. Lynch in his 4th season from Cal. Came in a trade from Buffalo. Had 737 yards rushing during the regular season.
And Tom, when he drops his shoulder pads and runs behind them, this is a big guy with good movement skills. And you mentioned a minute ago how woeful their rush attack was during the year. They were number 31 in the league, next to last, only averaging 89 yards a game. He gives them a whole different dimension when he comes downhill like he just did.
Here he is again. Unable to get the first down before he's surrounded by 4 Saints and driven out of bounds.
But that's okay. He's on schedule. You know, they're 3rd and short. You got a 12-year veteran quarterback now with a 3rd and 2, and your entire playbook is open.
Earlier, the Saints had an interception, turned it into a touchdown. Now the fumble by the Saints, recovered by Seattle. They're trying to do the same, as both coaches telling us turnovers would be paramount.
Look up top.
Handed off to Lynch, and he did not pick up the first down. So they go to Lynch 3 straight carries and unable to pick up the first, and the field goal unit will come out.
I thought they'd be a little bit more aggressive on that one. 3rd and 2, single coverage out wide.
Orlando Mari in his 15th season from Syracuse, hitting 25 of 30 field goals during the regular season. This one will be from 29 yards to tie the game. Mari's kick is good. So the turnover converted into a field goal by Seattle. And we're tied at 17. Tom Hammond, Mike Mayock, and Alex Flanagan in Seattle, coffee capital of the world. That's the original Starbucks. That's where it all started. Still serving them up. Well, Julius Jones served up the fumble, and the Saints have their first turnover in 3 postseason games.
You know,
last year they had that magical run with no turnovers essentially, and took it all the way to the Super Bowl championship.
I think the one agreement that every coach in the league would have is that the only statistic outside the final score that matters is turnover.
Here's Mari's kickoff toward Henderson, who takes it about the 3-yard line. Henderson tripped up as he crosses the 20-yard line.
Wow, Ruvell Martin did a nice job. A wide receiver doubling there on the coverage squad, came underneath a block, and that was a heck of a play.
Well, we talked to the Saints coaches and players yesterday, and they said no way we're taking this team lightly, despite the fact the Seahawks only 7-9, worst record ever. And the Seahawks, they said it's too big a challenge to play in Quest Field with some injuries and other things going on, and the Saints have never won a road playoff game in their franchise history, and they're in a battle today. Breeze throws underneath and completes the pass. It's caught by Henderson for a short gain.
Just a quick spacing route, and again, we talk about Drew Brees. I think he's as good as anybody. You're talking about Peyton Manning, you're talking about Tom Brady as far as understanding when and where to throw the football and to get it out of his hands quickly.
We talked to Lawyer Malloy, the veteran who's seen a lot of quarterbacks in his day, and he said he puts Drew Brees right up there with Brady and Peyton Manning as among the best in the game. There are his numbers so far today.
That Zach Streif in the backfield.
Brees again has to go underneath. It's caught by Thomas. David Thomas, backup tight end with the reception. And covered by David Hawthorne, taken out of bounds. Is going to bring up a Saints 3rd down. Again, they are the best in the league at converting 3rd downs.
And Hawthorne, I think, is one of the more underrated players in the league. Ball in the air, makes the one-on-one tackle in the open field. He's had 105 tackles in the regular season, along with 2 forced fumbles, and he's a guy that's taken advantage of increased playing time.
Saints, the best in the league, 48% converting 3rd downs, are 2 for 4 today. Breeze, good protection for a moment, and then sacked by Brock. Raheem Brock, who was a member of the Colts, came so close to that Super Bowl ring last season, beaten by the Saints, hoping for redemption today, gets the sack for a loss of 8 yards. He had 9 sacks in the regular season.
It's a 3-man front. He's going to come back on the spin move under Stinchcomb. Breeze was trying to come back to Shockey, but the inside move was effective for Raheem Brock and these 2 defensive ends capable of pressuring any quarterback.
Here's Morstead's punt to Washington. Has to backpedal, calls a fair catch, and makes it at the 24-yard line.
Tom, when you can get a sack against Drew Brees with 3-man pressure, man, you're tying. Let me tell you something. You got talent.
And Brock did it. Brock, who tied an NFL record for playoff games in his 9th straight year. He's been in the league 9 years from Temple. Playoffs every year. His dad, Zachary Dixon, played for the Seattle Seahawks back in the day. Spent 8 years in Indianapolis and lost to Drew Brees and the Saints in the Super Bowl last year. Punt covered 55 yards with no return. Saints have it at the 24. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Plenty of time for Hasselbeck. Throws it dangerously.
Yeah, I didn't like that throw. Darren Sharper was lurking. Remember, Malcolm Jenkins out with an injury. Sharper, the veteran in the game. I didn't think there was anything there. They may have been fortunate this thing was deflected. Pressure by Charleston from the backside. You've got under coverage by Patrick Robinson. You had Sharper, Shanley, way too many white shirts. You can't afford right now with a tie ball game to throw this football away.
Patrick Robinson with the deflection, setting up this screen pass complete to Carlson, the tight end. And boy, nice defensive play made by Tracy Porter. Porter, of course, the hero of the playoffs for the Saints last year with the 2 key interceptions. One in the NFC Championship game and the one in the Super Bowl that clinched the victory for the Saints.
Now Russell Okung here, the left tackle. Watch him come out. I thought he had an opportunity to make a different decision here and go attack the wide guy. If he does that, I think he can turn it up the field and make a play on a linebacker instead of a corner on that tackle.
3rd down 11. Quick pass across the middle to a sprinting Ruvel Martin. Martin has the ball and has Vilma tackling him after a 14-yard gain. And a Seattle first down.
Quick pop pass. This again, a good, really smart by the quarterback. Pop pass, everybody's dropping out. You got to beat that middle linebacker to make that work, and that's exactly what happened. They beat Marvin Mitchell.
Kind of fun to watch the veterans work their magic today. Breeze and Hasselbeck. Lynch. Down to 3.5 minutes here in the first half of a tie game in the opening game of the playoffs. Well, the whole world was saying that the Seahawks had no chance today, and the Saints didn't really believe that, I don't think. And the more we talked to Pete Carroll and his team, the more we thought that they're not going to be overmatched.
The more you watch the tape of this Seattle team, did they get blown out some this year? Absolutely. But if you watch the tape from their first meeting this year where they lost 34-19 with 1 minute and 49 seconds left in the half, it's a 6-point game. They can compete with this team as long as they don't turn the ball over.
Well, their 9 losses, the Seahawks, each by 15 or more points, and big underdogs today, but not intimidated by the world champions. And a tie game. 2nd down and 7. Pass is complete to Williams. Mike Williams will be spotted just short of first down yardage. Tackled by Jolon Dunbar, who's starting at linebacker today in place of the injured Danny Clark.
They're working the middle of the field. Big first down a couple of plays ago to Ruvel Martin. That time Michael Williams sat it down in the ideal place. Middle linebacker bailed. He replaced them with the route.
So 3rd and 1. Remember, they had a chance to score a touchdown on the turnover after the fumble. They went 3 straight Lynch runs and could not pick up a first down. So here's 3rd and 1. See if they go through the air or stay on the ground.
Hasselbeck changing things at the line. Another timeout.
Running out of time as he changed the call.
Yeah, some key plays so far for this team, I'm telling you. I love the fact that they've been down 10 points twice. There's the pump fake. I can't believe the throw to Mora. That brought it down, set up Carlson's touchdown where he did a great acting job. End of the line of scrimmage, fell down. Roman Harper forgets about him. Hasselbeck knows it's a touchdown before it's even caught. They've been down by 10 points twice, Tom, fought their way back, and you got to love a good underdog story, right? I mean, that's what this country's all about.
Drew Brees and the Saints finding themselves in a battle today here in Seattle late in the first half.
Now, you need to convert this, Jeremy Bates, because 3rd and 1, you want to extend the drive and not give the football back to Drew Brees.
Forsett with a run. Let's see his forward progress. It's going to be key. Looks like if they're going to spot it there, it's going to be very, very close to the first down. It is. First down, Seattle on the run by Justin Forsett.
They're trying to widen them by alignment again. They went with that wide double stack, count the box. This time they only needed 1 yard and they got it.
Not much more than that.
Not much, Tom, but it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
Remember, Drew Brees, the first time they met, Drew Brees got the football back with under 2 minutes left in the first half, and he took it in for a score.
Had a little discussion by the officials, not sure exactly what was going on. Sean Payton wants an explanation. Clock winds, spinning down now from 2:20. First half, 48-yard line. Seahawks have a first.
High formation. This is one of their run formations.
Lynch is the tailback.
Hasselbeck knows he's got down here. He wants it. Yep, I got you. They're trying to use that clock. Try to jump them. They get them off sides.
I think we've reached the 2-minute warning here. So we stop for the 2-minute warning in a tie game. Two minutes to go here, first half. First down for the Seahawks. Incomplete off the hands of Forsett out of the backfield. Looks like it was going to be a short gain anyway. And Vilma was covering him, the linebacker, the outstanding Pro Bowl linebacker of the Saints.
You know, Jonathan Vilma is just so smart. You know, it's so hard to fool him. He jumps right in Forsett's hip pocket. Matt Hasselbeck knows he's got to throw it away because Vilma will undercut it, catch the football, and take it for 6.
Here's a run by Forsett to the 45-yard line. Charleston tackled him. That's a gain of 7. Each team with 1 timeout left. You see the one mark beneath the graphic of each team there. It's indicating 1 timeout remaining.
I promise you, Pete Carroll does not want to give this football back to Drew Brees with any time left on the clock.
No.
I promise you. 3rd and 3. This is a big one. Tight bunch up here. Tight end backside. Give it to him.
Hasselbeck's going for the touchdown. He has Stokely. He's got it for the score. Wow.
Brandon Stokely right here in the middle of the tight bunch. Fights his way through traffic. Harper again with trouble. Stokely catches it. I'm telling you right now, Matt Hasselbeck showing what it is to be a 12-year veteran. I don't know what happened there. He didn't get touched on the pass.
45-yard touchdown pass. Maury adds the extra point. Seattle's first lead of the day with 17 unanswered points. Brandon Stokely, the veteran, in his 12th season, sprinting for the 45-yard touchdown after the catch from Hasselbeck.
And it looked like he kind of just bumped up against Shanley as he was jogging down to congratulate his wide receiver. Remember, he's had some injuries. Look at him. He bumps into Shanley. Shanley, he goes down. He's had that hip injury that Alex talked about earlier in the telecast where he had to get the needle before the game to aspirate it. That's all right. He's a BC guy, Tom. He's tough. You know what I'm saying?
Spoken by a true Eagle. See the number in his 10th postseason game, the long completion to Stokely. And so now Drew Brees will have 1:15 to try to answer.
And that's plenty of time.
Yeah, he's just started to say, and believe me, he's capable.
Yeah, only 1 timeout, though. That's the limiting factor on this drive.
Here's Henderson.
Wow.
Henderson stopped short of the 20-yard line. And some indecision on his part, it appeared, and Ruvell Martin immediately knocked him down. Well, Pete Carroll congratulating Stokely after the touchdown reception. Always so enthusiastic. And there he is with a embrace for Matt Hasselbeck.
He better not hug him too hard or Hasselbeck will fall down again.
Well, a lot of people said that Pete's college approach wouldn't work in the NFL. Got his team in the playoffs his first year and leading the world champions, but still the first half. Brees is going to go long, and it's downfield and caught at the 40-yard line of Seattle by Devery Henderson.
I don't know why they don't have a single safety in the hole here.
Henderson shaken up, but that was a 40-yard strike on first down from Drew Brees.
Yeah, I don't want to have him by himself here. Chancellor, the rookie safety, Lawyer Malloy, Everybody's jumping the short route, and that leaves Trufant one-on-one on the edge. Now keep in mind where we are here. We're under a minute. So any kind of injury, it's going to cost the Saints their last time out of the half. Now, again, I really believe that you don't want to give up that kind of distance with this time left. I think there was a busted coverage in the secondary because that was an outside leveraged corner covering Devery Henderson with no help inside.
Well, I said earlier what a treat it is to see two veteran quarterbacks operate here today. And here are the numbers for Hasselbeck and for Breeze so far. And that one interception by Hasselbeck, remember, went through the hands of his receiver. And with a 40-yard strike on first down, Drew Brees is at the 40 of Seattle with 58 seconds left. He is, however, out of timeouts now after the injury to Henderson. First down pass, Breeze zips it inside the 30-yard line where it's caught by Lance Moore. That's an 11-yard gain.
One of the best things the Saints do is their interior three-guy short set. That allows Drew Brees, look at the lane he's got to see and step up into the pocket. Their interior three, Goodwin, Nix, and Evans, are as good as any trio in football.
29-yard line, first down. Breeze hit as he delivered and incomplete. Intended for Shockey.
You know, Tom, they are really struggling in the three-man rush. Now, this time it's Chris Clemens working against Bushrod right out here. Watch when he comes back inside. There's the speed. Now come back under. Drew's having some problems with that. Bushrod gets him back under. Carl Nix loses his guy. You get Drew Brees off the spot, you got a chance.
From the 30, second down and 10. Breeze broken up, intended for Colston, and Babineau was able to deflect it incomplete.
I thought he was just a little bit late on this throw because he had Babineau, tried to drop it in over the top, got a tiny piece of it. Colston can't catch it.
Yeah, bounced off Colston's pads. Third down and 10.
Huge play here because it's a very long field goal.
Breeze, wide open catch by Moore, and Lance Moore has a first down for the Saints. Kelly Jennings tackled him after a 16-yard strike with 30 seconds left in the half. Clocks the ball down to stop it at the 30-second mark.
Soft corner on that last one prior to the clocking by Jennings, and there was no underneath coverage. Jennings is playing soft, expecting help, and I think Lance Moore is one of the most underrated football players in this entire league.
Saints at the Seattle 14. Breeze scrambles, finds a man who ducks out of bounds. That's Reggie Bush. Stops the clock with 24 seconds left.
There's no panic in a veteran quarterback, is there, Tom? And you mentioned a minute ago how much fun it is to watch two veterans at a high level. Right there, he looked to his right, nothing there, came back. Sean Payton knows how special his quarterback is, and he's not afraid to put the game in his hands.
Third down and 5 at the 9-yard line. Breeze is going to scramble. Dives inside the 5-yard line. They'll spot the ball in a hurry as
15,
the clock ticks away.
14, he's going to clock it. He's giving it the clock it. Yep.
There it is, clocks it, 9 seconds left.
There's the eyes. Nothing there. His eyes are always, look at it, even when he's scrambling, he's always looking. There's the pump fake like in basketball in the backyard. Get the guy up in the air and go run. Look at him, down the field, nothing. Eyes down, pump fake. He got Earl Thomas to move out a little bit. Veteran quarterback at the top of his career right now.
Breeze has hit 9 different receivers here in the first half. Field goal attempt not upcoming. 9 seconds left. Give the veteran quarterback a chance while play clock ticks down, and that'll be a delay of game penalty. Or will it?
No
Please
timeout.
reset the play clock to 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
They're giving him back 1 second. Pete Carroll can't believe it. I can't either. This gives them an opportunity to reset, but they better get up over the ball. Look at Pete Carroll. He's really upset.
He's saying they don't have a timeout.
Anytime the referees calls a delay because of a discussion, they reset the clock.
Give Breeze one more chance. The ball batted down and incomplete with 3 seconds left. Intended for Thomas, David Thomas, the tight end, but blanketed by the Seahawks. And so now the field goal attempt by Hartley. Hartley hit 15 of 25 field goal attempts during the regular season. This one a chip shot, of course, only 22 yards.
He's only 11 for 15 between 20 and 39. That's kind of atypical in this league.
This one on the money, though, by Hartley. Kicks it through as the first half comes to a close. Saints drive down the field and get the field goal. It's the second playoff game in NFL history in which each team has scored 20 or more points in the first half. So Drew Brees and Matt Hasselbeck on target. A good first half, an entertaining first half, and now ready to start the second as the Saints kick off. Morstead to Henderson. You saw, or to Washington, I should say, Leon Washington, the dangerous returner. They've been avoiding him most of the first half. This time they kick it his way. And Washington takes it at the 9-yard line. Whoa. Back down hard at the 20-yard line where the Seahawks will put it in play as we check in with Alex.
Hey, Tom. Well, Drew Brees sacked once in the first half of this game. Sean Payton saying that he's actually quite happy with the protection that they've been able to provide with his quarterback. Says that the run game will be key in this second half. He has to stick with it. Stick with his running back, Julius Jones, who had the fumble in the first half. Expects this to be a long, hard-fought battle. Meanwhile, Pete Carroll thrilled with his quarterback, Matt Hasselbeck, Tom.
All right, so Hasselbeck with a first down handoff to Lynch. Marshawn Lynch. Get about 5 yards before he's surrounded and forward progress stopped. And some key first half stats as this score flashed around the sports world. I'm sure there was some double takes.
That's an awful lot of offense right there. But the Seahawks equal in just about every category, plus or minus rush, pass, and that turnover category, Tom, 1-to-1. I still believe at the end of the day, whoever wins that one wins the football game.
All even at 1. The Seahawks got a field goal out of their turnover, a touchdown for the Saints. Mike Williams, another catch in traffic and a Seahawk first down. Jonathan Vilma wraps him up, not until he had first down yardage.
And this is what he can do. He's sitting in the slot. Linebacker expands. He sits down in between both the linebackers, Vilma and Shanley, and the veteran quarterback puts it on him.
Mike Williams, big target, 6'5", 235. First down at the 35-yard line. Quick pass and deflected and incomplete.
Alex Brown got the hand up. Defensive end over Sean Locklear. And Tom, we talked a little bit about Sean Locklear, who missed practice. There's the tip. Great job right there by Alex Brown. Sean Locklear missed practice all week long because of a personal situation at home and still going today with no practice this week.
And a death in the family and the death of a close friend. He only returned last night to Seattle, missed all week of practice. Hasselbeck pumps, then goes complete to Obamanu. Roman Harper blasts him out of bounds, but not until he had 18 yards and a Seahawk first down.
Here's this double stack we've been talking about. This time they pump fake and they throw behind the corner. There's the pump. Jabari Greer lets him go. There's the hole between the corner and the safety. Nice route by Obamanu, but again, it's the veteran quarterback who set that play up.
Into Saints territory, 46-yard line. Hasselbeck underneath. 4 set. See Matt Hasselbeck in his 12th season from Boston College. He's had 7 3,000-yard passing seasons, has Hasselbeck. 174 touchdown passes in his career, 3 years in Green Bay and then here in Seattle. 10th playoff start today. Hits the ball to Washington.
He was looking at Carlson, who was running a route there. That was an option route. Tight bunch again here. Carlson is just going to release out in here, and Washington's got the option of dumping it to him or dropping the shoulder pad level and going. That'll set up a 3rd and 1 situation. Now there's a 34-year-old offensive coordinator, Jeremy Bates.
In his first season as the Seahawks coordinator under Pete Carroll. 3rd down, and a whistle will stop as Matt Hasselbeck calls a timeout. So first timeout in the second half. Crucial 3rd and 2 coming up when we return. Drew Brees and the Saints awaiting their first possession of the second half, trailing Seattle by 4. The Seahawks took the second half kickoff. They've driven down to the 38-yard line of the Saints, where they have a 3rd down and 2. Motion empties the backfield. Here's Hasselbeck. He's going for the touchdown. Downfield to Williams. He's got it. Touchdown, Seattle. There's that aggressive play calling you've been looking for as they face a 3rd and short and go for a 38-yard touchdown strike. Matt Hasselbeck to Mike Williams.
Let's give Pete Carroll and Jeremy Bates a ton of credit for the aggressive play calling, and Matt Hasselbeck again dropped it into a tiny window and let that big wide receiver make a play for him.
Olindo Mari will attempt the point after. And it is good. So the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the second half. They march down the field, 79 yards in 7 plays. Hasselbeck hitting 4 of 5 through the air.
And he's double covered. You've got the veteran safety Sharper. You've got Greer. Look where he dropped the football in. He couldn't throw it inside because of Sharper, outside because of Greer. So what did he do? He dropped it in right over the helmet. And that is a great catch by the 6'5" Mike Williams.
And what about Mike Williams, who signals his return? He'd been somewhat of a problem during his NFL career, out of football the last 2 years. And he has come back with a vengeance. Career highs during the regular season, and a great catch there to put the Seahawks up on the defending world champions. And Matt Hasselbeck's the top of his game today.
Wow. 4 touchdown passes allowed today with this Greg Williams defense. But Tom, the margin of error on that throw was so minute. Hasselbeck has made a couple throws today that it looks like he's in the prime of his career.
Right. So Mari will kick off to Meacham, who is deep for the Saints. Murray buries it in the end zone, but Meacham's going to bring it out. Not a good decision.
Now they're winning some turnover battles also down there with the Seahawks.
Space Needle flying the 12th man flag today, and the 12th man very much in evidence here at Quest Field, and why not? The big underdog Seahawks have a 31-20 lead on the Super Bowl champs. First possession of the second half for the Saints. Go to the running game. Reggie Bush surrounded and taken down. And the defense is fired up. David Hawthorne, Raheem Brock, all there on the stop of Reggie Bush.
And see up front, Colin Cole, Brandon Mebane, the defensive tackles, and then the second level coming in, Raheem Brock, David Hawthorne. That's team defense, and it starts with run fits.
Loss of a couple of yards. Second down and 12. Saints at their own 16-yard line. Breeze rifles it complete to Colston. And Colston, forward progress, will give him a first down, tackled by Earl Thomas. But Colston with a catch in traffic after Breeze had some velocity on that one.
I thought Aaron Curry, the linebacker, had a chance to make a play under there. He was underneath the receiver's hip. If he had been more aware, he had a chance.
Jones will attempt the run.
Tom, I think he might try to up-tempo this thing a little bit. They came out of that very quickly. They're down 11. I think Drew Brees would love to get control of this football game back. And one way to do that offensively, as Sean Payton knows, is to control tempo.
Jones is the setback. Blitz comes. Breeze hit as he underhands the ball, and they'll rule him down, I believe. Let's see. No, incomplete pass. Incomplete pass.
You know what? These defensive ends are very difficult to handle now. And that time, Lawyer Malloy came. There was a good pickup.
And after the conference, they're going to rule grounding.
Intentional grounding. Number 9. Offense.
That's a big call.
Loss of down.
That's down and distance.
Third down.
Big call.
Has to be out of the pocket and reach the line of scrimmage. And neither one occurred, although that line is unofficial. So after the conference, they rule it was grounding. Third down and 16. Breeze dodges the rush and has the completion. Then the fumble. Now it's ruled incomplete pass.
I tell you, I love watching Earl Thomas play football. He's so quick and so aggressive. Sometimes they can use that against him, and Drew Brees did in their first meeting. This is wide open. Look at this, Lance Moore. And then the contact brings the ball loose. There was never any possession. Incomplete pass.
So Thomas did a good job of dislodging it. And Morstead is on to punt.
That's returnable.
Washington dodges the first wave, still on his feet, and then dragged down at the 45-yard line as he's caught from behind by Waters. Anthony Waters, special teams tackle, but an 11-yard return. Hasselback at his best today. Still a lot of time left. 9:39, third quarter. First down run by Lynch, Marshawn Lynch. Who could have predicted effective running game by the Seahawks? They did have a good running attack when they beat the Rams for the NFC West Championship last weekend, but all season long, not much.
Two wide receivers, both critical to the block. First Ruvell Martin, then Michael Williams. Both of them get blocks on bigger people, on linebackers, and you pick up 9 yards in the run game. And 2 weeks in a row, the Hawks effective on the ground.
9 yards on first down gives you a lot of options. They go right back to Lynch, who picks up the first. Knocked down by Will Smith, but first down, Seattle.
Here comes a whole new personnel grouping in the game. Golden Tate, the second-round pick, an explosive kid with the ball in their hands, and I really give Jeremy Bates and Pete Carroll credit for being aggressive. Empty set.
43-yard line with the empty backfield and Hasselbeck in the shotgun. And this pass caught by Tate. Golden Tate shook a couple of tackles but stepped out of bounds. So Tate, the rookie from Notre Dame, who caught 21 passes in the regular season, gets his first postseason catch.
And Tom, what did we talk about at the top of the show? Spread the field, let the veteran quarterback make decisions at the line of scrimmage, and that's what Matt Hasselbeck is doing. Empty backfield, give the ball to the rookie. He picks up 5 or 6 yards on first down. You're on schedule.
Obama caught it, but Tracy Porter was having none of it. Tried a little screen play there, kind of a little half pick, and Obamanu was unable to get free. In fact, lost 3 yards on the completion.
Yeah, that play can't work if Michael Williams doesn't get the block. He doesn't even get a touch on the defensive back, Tracy Porter, and a good job of anticipation by Porter. And, you know, he was a basketball player growing up. Went to University of Indiana hoping to play basketball, and the one knock on him coming out was he tough enough? Would he tackle enough? We see his feet, we see his interception abilities last year, but he's also gotten more consistent in the run game.
3rd down and 8. Hasselbeck's pass is caught. Wow. Stokely somehow caught it with Roman Harper draped all over him. A gain of 11, first down Seattle.
Now the key for Seattle is keeping these two 12-year guys healthy. But here's Stokely right here. He's going to post up Roman Harper. And Hasselbeck anticipates which side Harper is and throws it to the other side. Wow, great job by the Hawks.
Stokely injured on the play. Long, cold afternoon so far for Drew Brees and the Saints. They trail the Seahawks 31-20. 7:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. And the Seahawks driving again. They're at the 30-yard line with a first down. Toss sweep to Lynch. Marshawn Lynch picking his way forward. And the offensive line of the Seahawks, which had been so jumbled up all season long, hard to find any consistency, you would think. Their rushing game perhaps showing that, and what a job they've done today.
Yeah, and they've had 10 different starting offensive line combinations this year. You know, you compare that to New Orleans, they're one of 2 teams that have had the same 5 guys all season long. Should be a huge advantage, New Orleans, but I give Art Valero and Pat Rule, the 2 offensive line coaches, a ton of credit for bringing this group together.
And the Seahawks, who made over 270 transactions, most in the league all season. Here's Lynch. Can he get the corner? No. He will be close to the first down, but Jabari Greer, one-on-one with a couple of blockers around, made the play. Alex?
Tom, adding to the inconsistency of the offensive line, the center, Chris Spencer and Matt Hasselbeck, have barely had any time to practice, actually no time to practice. Chris Spencer has been playing with a broken finger much of this season on his snapping hand, so he doesn't practice because it's too painful for him. He bears it in the game, but he has powered through, Tom.
3rd down for the Seahawks, who started 0 for 3 on 3rd downs and have converted 5 in a row since. This one will be incomplete, dropped by Obamanu.
Boy, they had what they wanted too. They spread the field again, 3rd and inches, and they trust their veteran quarterback. Robinson, the first-round rookie, is off. He puts it between the 8 and the 7, and Obamanu knows he's got to catch that football right there.
So field goal attempt upcoming from Olindo Mare. This one 39 yards. Mare hit one earlier. Field goal is up, and it is good. So a 14-point edge for the Seahawks over the champs. Maury will kick off for the Seahawks to Robert Meacham. Meacham will bring it out. Gang tackle again short of the 20-yard line. Flag down on the play. Dexter Davis made the first hit. Flag way back upfield.
Probably an offsides. Seattle.
Offside, number 29 of the kicking team.
Earl Thomas.
That 5-yard penalty will assessed, and we will re-kick.
So re-kick after the 5-yard penalty.
That's a little frustrating too. Earl Thomas, your starting first-round rookie free safety. There's the impact. I thought McCoy there was actually the one that jumped off. He probably could have gotten any of 2 or 3 guys. And you know what, Tom? I played on kickoff teams. And in my opinion, it's hard to get upset at guys being aggressive on a kickoff team like that.
Well, early in the second quarter, New Orleans had a 17-7 lead, and since then, Seattle has outscored them 27-3. And we're going to kick again with 5:22 left in the third quarter. Drew Brees still waiting his chance. Drew Brees in the regular season had 5 fourth-quarter game-winning drives. Will it set up for one of those again today? We'll see as Maury kicks it off. Taken by Meacham. Tripped up across the 25 to about the 28-yard line. And here is a helmet flying and some more pushing and shoving. Humber lost his helmet. Well, Pete Carroll, first season back in the NFL and wins an NFC West championship. Here was the scene in the locker room after the win over the Rams.
We represent Pete Carroll. His first playoff game as a Seahawks. This is what it feels like.
If you realize we come right back on here on Saturday afternoon, we got to see the
Always so full of energy and enthusiasm, trying to make everything fun and yet serious. Everything counts is what Matt Hasselbeck said to us. Here's Brees, forced to hurry his throw and gets it to Bush. Bush bumped out of bounds by Trufant.
Tom, I had a lot of chances over the last few years to see Pete on the USC and practice fields, and the one thing I always noticed, didn't matter whether it was competition Tuesday or turnover Wednesday, or he had catchy names for everything. It was all about competing your tail off on every snap and getting ready to play for a championship. And Matt Hasselbeck and all those guys told us 2 days ago, here comes the championship. It's coming true.
Second down. Brees again on target underneath the coverage to Henderson. Well, Pete Carroll too had been fired by the Patriots and went on a voyage of self-discovery. And one of the things he did, he was reading a book by John Wooden and started to think about Wooden and things he had said and things he had accomplished. And he said he noticed that it took him a long time, 16, 17 years before he won his first championship. But once he did, nobody could touch him. And so he sat down and thought about his own motivations and his own way of coaching and decided that he was a man consumed by competition and everything he did and developed his philosophy from there. Play action fake by Drew Brees. Again throws under. This time it's to Jones, who's upended short of the first down. Great tackle, Jennings and Babineau.
That's going to be very close. Checks it down. Julius Jones trying to leap. Babineau and Jennings simultaneously with the big hit. It's a pretty picture right there. Great hit by those guys.
We're going to measure to see whether he had the first down.
Here's some. Matt Hasselbeck came in our meeting the other day and was giggling because he was watching Pete Carroll throw the football through a basketball hoop for on a bet before practice with several of his players.
Wow, look how close.
Oh, man. He's sending the punt team out. Ball's on the 38-yard line, down 14 points. I personally believe you got to punt the ball here in this situation. I also know defensively I'm playing alert. I'm not playing return.
Now Drew Brees says to the punt team,
get off.
Get back out of there. We're the defending Super Bowl champions. We're going for it on 3rd and inches, or 4th and inches.
The question is whether or not they try to draw them off. Will they go through with the play or try to draw them off?
4th down and inches. Handoff, tripped up and didn't make it. Julius Jones stopped.
Penetration in the backfield is the key to short yardage defense. They went on a quick snap. They got penetration underneath. Mebane, number 92. Forced him to trip over his own man. Mebane right in there. He trips over Carl Nix. Bang! Huge play, Seattle.
And Pete Carroll, he had that personal epiphany thanks to John Wooden. What a great spot he's in now. Will history be made today? The defending Super Bowl champion has never lost a postseason game after leading by 10 or more, and the Saints were up 10-0 at one time today.
I think they were also up 17-7.
17-7 as well.
Twice.
It's 3:51 to go in the 3rd quarter, though, but after failing on 4th down, the Seahawks take over at the 36-yard line, and they're going to run it with Lynch. Nowhere to go. Couple tough yards for Marshawn Lynch.
Well, that was a huge play, and I want to underscore again Sean Payton's decision. It was an aggressive move, but I disagreed with that call. I don't think you ever, down 2 scores, go for it in that situation. You get 1 first down, kick a field goal, it's a 3-score game.
Drew Brees, you saw him on the field telling the punt team, get off. Sure, it was Payton and Brees that made the decision. Here's Hasselbeck. Pass dropped by Williams. That's 2 crucial drops that they've had. Obamano had one the last drive that would have been a first down, settled for a field goal, and that one by Williams close to a first down.
That's exactly right, Tom, and those kind of things add up. Now, you had an opportunity to maybe get 7, you settled for 3, and right there, Michael Williams had 8 drops in the first 9 games, none at the end of the season. That's a key drop because now it's 3rd and long.
Things seem to be going so great for the Seahawks after they held the Saints. Now they face a 3rd down and 8.
Here's where Greg Williams comes. Watch blitz over here. Overload.
Here comes the pressure. Hasselbeck lays it up. The pass is incomplete, intended for Obamanu. Wanted an interference call from Robinson on Robinson, but no flag.
Stokely and everybody upset about this. One-on-one situation. Can you win one-on-one? Run the red line. That means give your quarterback a chance to throw it over your shoulder. Robinson, the whole key to playing defensive back in this league is if you look back for the football, if you look and lean, it usually won't get called, even if there's a little bit of contact. I like the non-call in that situation. He got his head turned around. He looked. He leaned. I like the non-call.
Got his head turned, so no call. Here's a 53-yard field goal. It would be Mare's longest.
Delay of the game. Offense.
Oh, that's huge.
Penalty.
Now we get a drop by Michael Williams, compounded with a delay of game that's going to take him out of field goal range and force a punt. Those are the kind of mistakes that a wild card team can't make against the defending Super Bowl champs.
Seahawks had everything going their way. Now have we seen a momentum shift here? Still 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And now the punt team is on. John Ryan will punt it to Moore. They're going to try to down it. Little pooch punt.
He's so good at this. He's only had one touchback all season. He always pins you inside the 20.
Total yards, only 24 yards in the second half for the Saints.
You know, we talk a lot about Greg Williams. Gus Bradley, the defensive coordinator for Seattle, has had a great game plan.
Drew Brees looking. Underneath, dropped. Julius Jones couldn't handle it.
There's some frustration out there. You get a tip ball. I think it was Colin Cole that got the tip. Right in the middle of the line of scrimmage. Seahawks, I think, are very well coached. If you can't get to the quarterback, get that hand up. Colin Cole right there, big number 90 does. Julius Jones can't handle it. Gus Bradley's done a great job. Played conservative on the back end and aggressive up front.
Brees. Again, it's knocked down, this time by Tatupu.
Lofa Tatupu, who played for Pete Carroll, obviously, at USC, he is in on every defensive down. He's a 3-down linebacker. He's reading the quarterback's eyes, comes underneath, and Drew Brees is fortunate that's not intercepted. That's a great job. Vision on the quarterback, zone eyes.
Brees finds a man, and it's Bush, and Reggie Bush sprints for a first down. Key third down conversion there by the New Orleans Saints, 14 yards and a first down.
Yeah, that was really a key pickup right there. Slows down the momentum. Here's Reggie. You're going to get a delayed blitz from Lofa Tatupu, forcing the throw. Good job by Reggie catching the football and getting up the field. No dancing, up the field, knowing he needs a first down. Good job by Reggie Bush.
5 receptions, 37 yards by Bush, who has the most by any NFL running back in the first 60 games of his career. Brees, as he was hit, unloaded it to Moore, and Lance Moore with the catch. He's wrapped up by Will Herring.
Kind of interesting when we talk to Lofa Tatupu also, thinking when Pete Carroll comes in, they'll go back to his college defense. Not so fast. They stayed with this base under where he's got to take 295 to 320-pound guys on every snap. Lofa wasn't real happy with that.
Say, well, Pete coaches the same way, except it's not the same defense. Brees completes to Meacham. Meacham has a first down before he's driven to the turf. Tackled by Jennings and Babineau.
Meacham, typically their vertical guy. This time, since they're playing an awful lot of zone, they're not exposing their back end, just sits it down. Babineau makes the tackle. And Tom, I'm going to tell you right now, down 14, late third quarter, this is not their first rodeo. I don't expect New Orleans to go away. They're making plays. And by the way, they're 13-3 on the road the last 2 years.
Brees sets up the screen. It's complete to Jones. Julius Jones crosses the 45 of the Saints before Curry makes the stop. Well, the Seahawks had a chance to maybe put the game away as they held the Saints on 4th down deep in their own territory, but unable to get a first down. Drew Brees, given second life, has the Saints driving down 14 in the final seconds of the third quarter.
You're right, Tom. You can't drop that key pass that Michael Williams dropped. You can't jump off sides when you're kicking a field goal. Drew Brees will come back at you. Here they come.
Brees steps up in the blitz and completes the pass. It's caught by Lance Moore for a gain of 20 yards as the third quarter comes to a close. Well, can the Seahawks pull it off? 1 quarter to find out. They lead the Saints 34-20. NBC's NFL Wildcard Playoff continues after these messages. Start the fourth quarter now. The Saints with a first down, the ball at the 36-yard line of Seattle. Drew Brees, after missing his first two, has hit those 5 in a row. Handoff to Julius Jones. Pounds his way to the 31-yard line.
Tom, a key conversion going back 2 plays ago. 3rd and 8. This is everything we saw off tape on Drew Brees. The pressure from the left. This is why he's so special. Watch him drop the shoulder, eyes downfield, slide in the pocket, and look at the shot right into the middle of the zone. That's why Drew Brees is an all-pro quarterback.
This one swings complete to Julius Jones.
And Tom, they are flying around on defense. Seattle Seahawks are fired up and flying around. And maybe too fired up.
Yeah,
huh?
maybe. Kelly Jennings was the first to hit him, but the late hit draws the flag.
I think it's Will Herring that comes in late, the nickel linebacker. There's a big hit right there by David Thomas on Clemens. Clemens didn't like it. You can't retaliate.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 91, defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Now, if I understand what David Thomas is doing here. Now watch him. There's the hit Herring makes on the sideline. And there comes the late hit. Now, what we didn't see there was that David Thomas first took the shot on Clemens, and Clemens was retaliating.
Looked to me like a legal shot that Thomas took. Still in the field of play before the whistle was blown.
If it was a quarterback, it wouldn't be legal.
Henderson with the catch to the 10-yard line.
Well, an amazing turn of events, Tom. Still a 14-point game, but you had the feeling when they stopped them on 4th down on the 38-yard line that we reached a seminal point in this game. However, what a great job New Orleans has done. Seattle made a couple mistakes, but New Orleans methodically driving down the field. And let's face it, if they score here, is there anybody in America that doesn't think they can't win this game?
They've scored every time in the red zone today. 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. They go inside the 5 with Jones. Just a bit short of the first down.
You know, they're number 1 in the league in 3rd down, but they're only number 20 in the league in the red zone. Haven't been able to run the ball consistently enough in the red zone to have high productivity.
And it will be a first down on the run by Jones. 1st and goal. Here he is again.
He quick snapped him.
And Julius Jones falling across the goal line. Still no signal.
He quick snapped him. Here come the guys late from Seattle onto the field. Ton of confusion. Watch what happens. Here they come late. Drew Brees knows it. Snaps the football. They're not ready.
They give him the touchdown now. Is his knee down? The ball crossing the plane of the goal line.
It's down.
It is ruled a touchdown, and Hartley will attempt the extra point. Hartley hits it. (34-27), Seattle clinging to the lead with 13:11 left. Saints just scoring the touchdown, and now Morstead will kick off for New Orleans. Leon Washington is deep for Seattle. Fields this one at the 4. Washington spun down at the 25-yard line by Raymond Humber. And let's go back to the touchdown. Was his knee down?
You know, watch the knee and where the football is and see if there's enough to overturn this. He's up, he's up, he's up, he's up, he's down, and look where the football is. I don't believe there's enough there to overturn that. And if I was Pete Carroll, I would not have challenged it.
It still would have been 2nd and goal, inches away anyway.
Exactly.
Touchdown in the books, making it a 7-point game. Hasselbeck pumps once, looking left, looking right. tried to dump it off to Lynch. Falls incomplete. And suddenly you can just sense the fact that the Seahawks aren't quite as efficient as they were, and the Saints maybe have seen the momentum swing their way.
Yeah, there was a disconnect between Hasselbeck and Williams, who's just standing right there. Look at him. Hasselbeck was staring him down, expecting something else, and Mike Williams didn't think he was part of that route.
5 wide receivers this time. Hasselbeck. Ball knocked loose from Obamanu. Incomplete pass. And now 3rd down for Seattle. You don't want to have to give the ball up right away to Drew Brees and the Saints.
Especially after a couple of incompletions, no time running off the clock. Great job. Look at the helmet on the football by Jabari Greer. That's the exact same. Now, the question there is that a fumble or not? I'm guessing Sean's thinking about that one right now. Catch the football. That's close.
Well, he didn't throw it. Hasselbeck, meanwhile, has missed his last 5. And here's a man that's wide open, and the pass goes long, and Williams broke off his route. Incomplete. 3 and out for the Seahawks.
Yeah, and 3 incomplete passes, probably 15 seconds. Watch Patrick Robinson jump it. Double move. Disconnect again between Hasselbeck and his receiver. 2 out of 3 plays, Hasselbeck and Williams, a complete disconnect.
Moore awaits the John Ryan punt. Moore takes it, 36-yard line, trying to get to the outside and ducks out of bounds. Seattle has had 2 straight 3 and out. Freeze back on the field when we come back. Back in Seattle, 12:40 to go. 34-27, wild card matchup between the Seahawks and the Saints. Drew Brees has hit his last 7 pass attempts. Meanwhile, Reggie Bush has gone to the New Orleans locker room, is not on the field, as the Saints take over at their own 44-yard line. Short drop, Brees got it away. As he was being wrapped up, it's an incomplete pass. It was Clemens, Chris Clemens, that was putting the pressure on Drew Brees.
Again, it's the defensive end, Clemens, coming back onside Bushrod. The way I look at this offensive line is the 3 interior guys short set. The tackles aren't as athletic. And I'm telling you, Raheem Brock and Chris Clemens have done a great job going up and back under to the quarterback.
Brees sets up a screen. Julius Jones. Jones ridden out by Thomas after a huge gain. The screen pass goes for 32 yards, and here come the Saints back into Seahawk territory.
And I think the key block there was all-pro right guard Jairi Evans, number 73. Right there gets Babineau, kicks him out just enough. Then the center, Jonathan Goodwin, gets a block about 15 yards down the field. That is a well-conceived, well-structured screen pass. Great job by the New Orleans Saints offensive line.
Now from the 23-yard line, Saints with a first down. Timeout, Seattle. Twelfth-man flag flying from the Space Needle. They need the 12th man now because New Orleans is on the move. Drew Brees is over 300 yards passing for the game with 12:07 to go in regulation. From the 23-yard line of Seattle. Brees finds Meacham. Out of bounds after gaining 8. Kelly Jennings was there defending. Clock stops at 12:01. And one thing about the Saints, you look at them, no panic at any time in this game.
Again, quick set them.
To the 10-yard line, Julius Jones, just short of the 10.
Drew Brees is a master at controlling tempo and the clock, and especially in goal line and short yardage, he loves the quick snap. He just got a touchdown on the last drive on a quick snap, and there again, 2nd and 1, Tom, he quick snapped them again.
First down, New Orleans.
Keep your eye down there. Seattle only has 1 timeout left, which not only impacts their offense, but their ability to challenge a call down the road.
Reggie Bush in the locker room having his leg examined. So Julius Jones, play fake to him. Breeze got it away and complete. It's complete to David Thomas. Kept inbounds after a gain of 4.
Aaron Curry did a pretty good job recognizing the tight end, crossing his face and staying with him. They're really doing a nice job on the back end, not giving Drew Brees anything vertically. 22 interceptions, the most of his career.
Handoff to Jones.
That's power football. That's a lot of big, sloppy bodies banging each other there. The left guard, Carl Nix, skip pull into the hole. Left guard, he skip pulls. That means he stays parallel to the line of scrimmage, gets up on the linebacker. Jones lowers the pad level, and there's a ton of guys. Look at this place just going crazy with the white towels. I love this atmosphere.
3rd down and 3. They can pick up a first down without scoring. Breeze, pass, caught by Henderson. And a big play by the defense of the Seahawks. Raheem Brock and Earl Thomas and others.
I got to tell you, I thought there was a chance to make a play there, and Earl Thomas comes flying right here. Watch the reaction. Once the ball's in the air, he just flashes, gets help from the inside out. Curry, Terrell, that is big-time hustle creating 4th down.
So 4th and 2, and the field goal unit is out in the person of Hartley. Garrett Hartley. This is a 21-yard attempt. Hartley's kick is up and good. So the Saints have to settle for a field goal after a big defensive play with the Seahawks, who still have the lead, 34-30 now on the Saints. So Pete Carroll trying to keep his troops rallied. Drew Brees had to settle for the field goal after they drove the ball down the field.
But Tom, you talked earlier about these quarterbacks and how well these veterans are playing. And you look at Drew Brees, 31 for 47. You look at Hasselbeck, 20 for 32. Tom, I'm just blown away by how well these veteran quarterbacks are playing.
Still, though, the Seahawks need to get something going now. They've had 2 straight 3-and-outs, and in a lot of ways, as you said, starting to play like a 7-win team, except for that stop there. That was a big stop they just made.
Huge stop right there. I think Gus Bradley's defense has been key all day long. What I'm fascinated by is you've got the defending Super Bowl champions who are 13-3 on the road the last 2 years. They've been in this pressure cooker before. You've got one of the youngest teams in the league, the Seattle Seahawks, at 7-9 that have to be able to answer blow for blow. I can't wait to see the end of this game.
All right, it's going to be a fabulous finish here in Seattle with 9:13 on the clock, and Hasselbeck on the sideline staying warm. He's had a big game, and so has Drew Brees. Look at this.
Wow. I mean, 5 touchdowns between them. This 1 interception down here was off a tip early in the first quarter. I think Hasselbeck has been flawless.
And he's had a bunch of drops, too.
He's had several drops. That's a good point. And I'm telling you right now, the Obamanu drop, the Williams drop, and the offsides on the field goal, 3 critical plays if the Seahawks lose this game.
This time it's going to be Hartley to kick off instead of Morstead for the Saints, and the dangerous Leon Washington really hadn't gotten much going today. Saints were wary of his return ability. Again, 3 times this season he has taken it to the house on a kickoff.
Well, they went with those high mortar kicks the first couple of times, and they've gone deep since then, but they've tried to skip it.
From the 5-yard line, Washington, Leon Washington with a burst. He stopped around the 30-yard line. And so now it's Matt Hasselbeck's turn to try to get some momentum back, to get back in sync after they had looked so good, and now 2 straight 3-and-outs. Got to get it going.
And remember, Tom, that last 3-and-out was 3 consecutive incompletions, so they didn't run any clock off. There was a disconnect between him and his receivers. Matt Hasselbeck's got to get this thing back under control here.
They're in the eye this time, and the handoff is to Marshawn Lynch. The Saints ready for that. Short game, but the clock does run inside 9 minutes.
Scott Shanley did a nice job on the lead blocker there, Michael Robinson. There's Greg Williams. We got the chess match that we were all hoping for. Greg Williams, the wily old fox. Jeremy Bates, the young kid on the block, 34 years old, offensive coordinator whose father was a defensive coordinator for years in the NFL.
Hasselbeck slings it, incomplete. Off the hands of Mora. And now 3rd down.
You know, Matt's a little frustrated right now. And this entire offense, Tom, looks like it's out of sync.
Yep.
They've got to get this thing back under control before they lose it.
If they haven't already. This play could tell a lot.
I give Jeremy Bates a ton of credit. He came from Denver where they were a vertical team with Jay Cutler. Now what he's trying to do is adjust or morph into what Matt does the best.
And Hasselbeck shows his frustration again as the whistles stop the play.
I think it was a timeout.
Team timeout.
So New Orleans did take the timeout, their first timeout of the second half. And it comes with 8:23 on the clock. And back to Pete Carroll, we were talking about how he had that voyage of self-discovery, decided how he was going to coach. It's that loose, rah-rah college style that some said wouldn't work in the NFL, but don't be deceived by it, because he said, I'm a competitor, and that's what my whole coaching philosophy stems from, but he's maybe more a competitor than every coach, because every coach in the league is probably a competitor, but he really has more competition than most NFL coaches ever have.
I think you're right. First of all, every coach I know is a type A control freak. That's number one. I mean, I'm the son of a coach, so I can say that. You know, but you're right about Pete. He's more overtly competitive. He wants to throw footballs into the basketball hoop and challenge his players. Every snap of every practice. They're one of the only teams in the league on Wednesdays that competes their first-team offense against first-team defense. They don't even do game planning on Wednesday. They're probably the only team in the league that doesn't. He believes if they compete against themselves, they'll get better.
He said that football doesn't have to be torment, try to keep it fun, but be accountable as well. Here's a key 3rd down, and it's a completion for a first to Brandon Stokely.
And what a surprise. It's the 2 old guys connecting. Stokely in the slot. Both 12-year veterans. The safety driving on the route, but Hasselbeck putting it right on him for a key 1st down. Football held like a loaf of bread, but he holds on to possession. And Tom, to me, that stems the tide a little bit. They needed that very, very badly.
2 12-year veterans combining for a 12-yard gain and a 1st down. First completion in 8 passes for Hasselbeck, who hands off to Marshawn Lynch.
Alex Brown coming from behind on that. They don't get the cutoff.
No gain on the play. Might have lost a half yard. Clock continues to move down inside 7.5. Seahawks clinging to a 34-30 lead, coming into the playoffs with the worst record ever, 7-9, and playing the defending Super Bowl champions. Blitz picked up, but Hasselbeck sacked back at the 35-yard line. They came with everybody, and it was Shanley that got him. after they picked up the initial blitzers, but there were just too many.
Well, Patrick Robinson's going to come off the edge, the corner, and then Shanley 58. There's Robinson from the outside, Shanley from the inside. Greg Williams dials up the blitz. The New Orleans Saints blitz more than any team in the National Football League on passing situations, 52% of the time. So you have to understand now, especially on third down, Tom, they're coming after you.
First sack of Hasselback today. The Seahawks gave up 35 in the regular season.
Third and long, they're going to play coverage.
Throw underneath the Forsett. Nothing doing. Stopped short of the 40-yard line by Jabari Greer.
3rd and 17 situation. Rush 3, drop 8, force to throw and rally up and tackle the football. That's just good, solid defense.
Hasselback again upset about something, arguing with the officials. They're going to have to give the ball up with 6 minutes left.
I'm telling you, every possession is precious. You've got to take care of the football, melt the football. There's a fine line between being real aggressive but trying to run time off the clock. Not much production by this Seattle offense the last 3 possessions.
Ryan punts to Moore. Good punt. Moore backpedals to his own 10. Nowhere to go. There is a flag on the play. Anthony Waters downfield made a big hit. 52-yard punt, only 4 on the return as we check the penalty.
I think somebody might have pushed Will Henry.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Have illegal block in the back on number 84 of the return team. That penalty will be declined. We have a holding on number 59 of the return team during the kick. That penalty will be enforced. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, it was Aaron Curry of the Seahawks down quickly to make the play, and the penalties, 2 of them. The holding enforced, so with 5.5 and the ball on the 6-yard line, the Saints will take over.
Holds right over there, 54 Waters. They also had Torrey Humphrey for a push in the back. Great job by the Seattle Seahawks special teams all day long, coached by Brian Snyder.
Drew Brees has directed a career-high 5 fourth-quarter comeback wins this season. Jones. Good first down play to get it out of the shadow of their own goal line, give them a little room to operate.
Remember, New Orleans has 2 timeouts left. He's looking for the vertical. Check down. Smart play. Julius Jones catches it. Extends the play. That's just smart football. Touchdown or check down. Drew Brees.
Lofa Tatupu, who is one of the keystones of the defense, helped to the sideline. Well, the pulse of this game has been surprising. Drew Brees, no surprise about this. He's passed for over 300 yards. A normal day at the office for Drew Brees. But the Saints defense allowing 4 touchdown passes after only 13 in the regular season. Matt Hasselback was on fire during one stretch, so he's cooled off a bit. But 4 touchdown passes today as the Seahawks scored the most first-half points when it counted in the playoffs, and now holding on for dear life. So Tatupu helped to the sideline on the Seahawks sideline, and
Julius
Jones
yeah,
taking over on the Saints sideline. And it's Deshaun Wynn, just signed this week, although he was with the Saints earlier in the season. Flag down.
Full start, number 78.
False start.
There's 2. Julius Jones on that last check down being tackled by Tatupu. Tatupu went out of the game. Jones went out of the game. Both of them hurt on the same tackle.
Well, we talked about the noise at Quest Field. That's the third false start today by New Orleans. The 12th man, very much in evidence. First and 15.
Will Herring in the game for Tutupu.
That pass is incomplete. Henderson tried to go down to get it, could not. Stops the clock at 4:41.
They kicked Hawthorne from outside into the middle linebacker position, brought their nickel in, which is Will Herring. There's the soft spot in the zone. That's a catchable football, Devery Henderson. You got to have that 100% of the time. That's a first down.
Second down, 15 from the 12. Breeze, plenty of time. This is Evans, the fullback. Pushed out of bounds by Curry. Stops the clock at 4:34.
Tom, how many times have we talked about today? Drew Brees scanning the field vertically. He wants to get you down the field. Seattle's played a lot of zone today. Look at the eyes. Downfield, downfield, downfield. Uh-oh, my internal clock says it's time to get rid of the football. I know where my check down is. Heath Evans, third down. This place is absolutely raucous.
Timeout taken by Breeze. Play clock was ticking down. Drew Brees calls a timeout. And so now each team only with one timeout left. Well, not many predicted this, as the Seahawks have given the Saints all they wanted, and still more to come. Our Wild Card Saturday continues from Indianapolis coming up next. Rematch of the AFC Championship game from a year ago, and Rex Ryan said this one is personal as the Jets take on the Colts. It's a rematch, as we said, of last year's championship game. Colts came in on a roll, winning their final four, and the Jets limp in having lost 3 of their last 5. Here's a huge play, 3rd down and 8 from the 19-yard line of the Saints. Breeze, under pressure, got away. His pass deflected, incomplete. Big defensive play by the Seahawks, intended for Colston. Babineau was there. Flag is down.
I think there's going to be a hold. And if there's a hold on the right tackle, Stinchcomb, you just decline it.
Apparently that's the case, as the Saints sent out their punt team.
All day long, these defensive ends have been pushing hard up the field. There's Brock, forces the step up. He gets held. And on the back end, the 4th-round rookie, Cam Chancellor, makes a play on the football. Wow.
Morstead punts. High, booming punt. Washington calling a fair catch. He makes it at the 33-yard line. That's a 48-yard punt. Seahawks take over now with 4:20 on the clock.
All right, Tom, here comes what you hear coaches talk about, their 4-minute offense all the time. You know, what does that mean? It means you're trying to keep the clock moving. Your receivers and running backs have to be cognizant of staying in bounds. Your quarterback's trying to run as much of the clock as he can on every single snap. You're not in 2-minute mode where you're only running the football. You still have to throw it, but you have to be aware of keeping the clock moving.
Clock starts on the snap. Hand off to Lynch. And the Saints, expecting that, stack him up immediately.
Nice job up front by the Saints. Point of attack. Harper does a great job on the fullback. That's what stacked it up at the line of scrimmage. Shanley coming over the top. And like you said, Tom, they're expecting run. They're getting after him. 8-man front. Hasselbeck at some point in this series is probably going to have to take a shot down the field to get the first down.
Crowd silent now, as opposed to when the Saints have the ball. Oh, look at this run. What a run. Marshawn Lynch still on his feet. Has blockers now. He's dancing his way for the touchdown. What a run, 67 yards by Marshawn Lynch. Murray's extra point is good.
That's as good an effort as I've ever seen in my life from a running back who they traded for from Buffalo. Downhill, physical, and down the field, you're going to see Matt Hasselbeck and the whole offensive line. Watch him cut it back. And you're going to see all kinds of people sprinting down the field to help him. He breaks the tackle of Shanley, runs through Sharper, runs through Adele, runs through Jabari Greer. Get off me, he says to Tracy Porter. Look all the way down the field, Hasselbeck, all the offensive linemen. Are you kidding me? Columbus is down the field. 78, Columbus, the offensive guard. The quarterback, Hasselbeck, was 30 yards down the field. Look at the hustle by Columbus. Here he is right here. Hasselbeck, Michael Williams, Locklear. Look at that. Locklear and Hasselbeck coming up from behind. Are you kidding me? Alex Brown, I don't know how many missed tackles and broken tackles were in there.
I think at least a half dozen tackles that Lynch broke. He broke at least a half dozen tackles on that run. What a run, an amazing effort by Marshawn Lynch.
How about the whole rest of the offense? Columbus, Hasselbeck, everybody downfield helping.
Murray's kickoff to Meacham from the 3-yard line. Crosses the 30. Stopped by Babineau on special teams. 41-30, the Seahawks. Huge underdogs. Only 7 wins in the regular season. The worst record of a playoff team, the worst division winner record. And here they are leading the champs, who only have 3 minutes and 16 seconds left and down by 11. Wow.
Okay, no big plays. If you're a Seattle Seahawk, you got to bleed this thing.
Breeze behind Evans, incomplete.
I think he's almost better off throwing the incompletion there than a 2 or 3 yard gain.
Did stop the clock at 3:12.
Yep.
Lynch will keep that football, huh?
Are you kidding me? That ought to go up in the mantle forever, right? That's as good a run, Tom, as I've ever seen in a playoff situation.
And just when they needed it.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Henderson makes the catch out of bounds.
Now that's a little more than you want to give up. When you say bleed it, you know, that kind of vertical throw, you've got, if you're going to play 3 deep zone, you've got to buzz somebody under that. That's too easy.
17-yard gain.
There it is. Nobody underneath. The underneath defender was caught up by a hitch inside. Didn't expand accordingly.
No defending NFL champ has won a postseason game since New England did in 2004. Is New Orleans going to taste defeat here today? Breeze steps up, wings it all the way down the field, incomplete.
There's some pretty interesting young players on that field for Seattle. Cam Chancellor, a rookie back there with the 15-year vet. Look at those two guys. They got 16 years of experience between them, Tom. 15 for Malloy and 1 for Chancellor. Another guy with rookie first-round pick, Earl Thomas.
Pressure. Got it away. Just shoveled it to Evans. Evans to the 45-yard line. Hit by Hawthorne.
Three-man pressure again. Look at the front. Right-hand side. Gets right past Stinchcomb. Stinchcomb and Bushrod are having all kinds of problems with Clemens and Brock.
They're down in 3. Here's Breeze. Finds Evans for the first down. Evans inside the Seahawk 40. The clock 2:23 and counting. Nice catch made by Thomas. Ball kind of behind him, able to snag it as we come down to the 2-minute warning. Marshawn Lynch slams the ball there after a scintillating 67-yard touchdown run.
Here we come, baby. Here come the Jets.
An AFC Championship rematch.
Jets, touchdown! The Colts are AFC champions.
Can the Jets avenge last year's bitter defeat? A statement will be made next on NBC.
Be a great game, but hard to top this one with 2 minutes to go. The Super Bowl champions trailing the 7-win Seahawks. Breeze trips, nearly intercepted, nearly picked off by Chris Clemens.
Now, Tom, this is the same guy all day long. I've been saying has been getting great pressure on the quarterback. Here he is on a zone drop. Chris Clemens getting depth all the way back. Ball in your hands, and I guess that's why he's not a linebacker, huh? Chance to put the game away right there. Great job, though, following the eyes of Drew Brees.
Breeze again feels a little pressure and steps up to elude it and gets it to Thomas. Stumbles his way inside the 10. That's a gain of 16 yards.
Yeah, he had a chance to score if he catches that one cleanly.
Spot the ball at the 6. First and goal at the 6. Breeze has the pass complete for the touchdown to Devery Henderson.
Now, they're going to have to go for 2 here. Okay, there's a minute 30 left in the game. They're down 5. If they get 2-point conversion, Tom, it's a field goal game. So this is maybe the most important play of the season for either team.
Sean Payton, the head coach, is the play caller. This is something the teams work on all the time, 2-point conversions.
Let's see if they spread them out and give Drew Brees the option to either throw the football or run it based on who's in the box. Zach Street, the extra tackles in the game, though. It is spread out.
They hand it off to Wynn, and he's stopped. Wow.
How about the biggest snap of the game goes to a guy you just activated this week?
Both Bush and Jones shaken up, not available. And so Deshaun Wynn signed earlier this week after injuries to their top 2 rushers, Ivory and Thomas, and Wynn is stacked up.
Colin Cole, 6'2", 330-pound nose tackle. Mebane in there. Great job at the point of attack. Will Herring flying in. Earl Thomas has been all over the field today. This is one of the most fun football games I can remember in I don't know how long.
So a minute 30 remains. It's 41-36. Seahawks are trying to hold on.
Well, here comes the onside, big boy.
Remember
right?
the Super Bowl?
yeah, but they had the element of surprise on that one. Anybody with any kind of hands is going to be up on this front line, trust me.
Well, not only will the Saints need a successful onside kick, but they have to have a touchdown. A field goal does no good.
Correct. Ball has to travel 10 yards, and Seattle's going to have 10 of their 11 men up within 5 yards of the 40-yard line. Sharper, the only guy out here. Kick was way too hard. That was one of the easiest I've ever seen for the receiving team to recover.
So Hartley really kicked it too hard and right to a man with good hands, John Carlson, who has 2 touchdown receptions today, and that was not good execution on the onside kick.
No,
Hartley just kicked it way too hard.
Right, you're trying to drive down on the ball. Look at Drew Brees. There's a couple of veterans right there, but the kicker's trying to drive down on the top of the football, pop it up in the air. That was just way too easy.
And what a bitter defeat this would be for Saints fans who saw their beloved team win the Super Bowl of all things last season. A victory engineered by Sean Payton and Drew Brees that lifted an entire city. After Katrina and so many woes in that city, it was one of the times as Lynch pounds ahead, one of the times that a sporting event can lift an entire community and give them a new attitude. It was an amazing sociological thing as well as a sporting thing, and Drew Brees, who was the hero, who was given so much to his adopted community of New Orleans, the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. And here they come to the playoffs, 11-point favorites. And the Seahawks not intimidated despite being down 10-0, despite being down 17-7. 11-point underdogs at home with the worst record ever, 7-9. And now just a minute 23 from pulling off one of the biggest upsets in NFL playoff history, knocking out the defending Super Bowl champions.
And Tom,
Lynch.
Now let's look ahead to next week. If Green Bay loses to Philadelphia, then Seattle will go on the road to Atlanta. If Green Bay beats Philadelphia, then they'll go on the road to the 2nd seed, Chicago.
1 minute. Saints cannot stop the clock.
What a great story this is. And you had a feeling this week in their building that the Seattle Seahawks coaches and players absolutely believed they were peaking at the right time.
Here's the victory formation.
Oh, come on. I don't know why Marvin Mitchell's taking a shot there. Come on, man.
Well, the Seahawks turnover free after Hasselbeck's interception on the 3rd play of the game. It is a shocker. No other way to say it. 11-point home underdogs with a record of 7-9 facing the Super Bowl champions. And Matt Hasselbeck, the veteran, and the young Seahawks with their first-year coach Pete Carroll pull off the shocking upset of the New Orleans Saints. And give a nod to their fans, too. They believe they turned out today. They caused 3 false starts. And this one will be enjoyed in the Seattle area for a long time. I see Alex has a hand trying to corral Pete Carroll. Alex, can you get him?